This is tanks, but no tanks.
Hello, my name is Dan Rothwell, and my product is DuraTent. I am seeking $50,000 for a 30% equity stake in our company.
Now, to just see this product and this whole presentation, you might think it was called DuraTent because it's shaped like a tent. It's spelled DuraTent, but that's not what it's called. It's called the DuraTent.
DuraTent.
And it's sort of pronounced like you would like Duracell batteries.
He clears that up right away. Yeah.
Which is good because you don't want any confusion over how your product is pronounced. Like for branding purposes, I think that does make sense. It rolls off the tongue really easily.
Yeah, DuraTent.
DuraTent.
And the image that creates for you is you hear DuraTent and you immediately know what he's talking about. Right. I know what he's talking about. You know what he's talking about. You know what the product is. You know how it's used, what it's for.
Right. It's obvious, and he goes on to explain this. He doesn't really have to.
Yeah. But he does a tight 15-minute intro about flies walking on food.
We have a clip of his presentation. His product is a tent that helps keep flies away from picnic food.
How many times have we seen the flies hovering around and getting on that dog poop and walking around? Then that fly says, there's a party going on. I'm going to go walk on that potato salad. And it does. And it leaves behind little particulate of the disgust it just picked up along the way.
Yeah.
Poop potato salad, anybody?
No, thank you. Stop the madness.
Man.
And so he
gives the flies a lot of credit for like what their thought process is.
Their experience of enjoying parties.
There's a party going on.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to walk on that potato salad.
Yeah, and them really enjoying dog poop. It's not like a biological urge for them. It's fun. It's all about fun for these flies.
I like the picture he paints of flies.
Yeah, you get
I
the
like
feeling
the idea that they're just out there living up.
Yeah.
Living up, having a good time.
And what you can't see is actually when he offers them a poop potato salad, he actually holds out what looks like a potato salad that's made out of poop. And like when they don't take it, he looks a little bit hurt. Like he's like, I made.
He goes, yeah, and then he goes, I guess onto the product then. But oh, you're not gonna eat this? Okay, then we'll talk about my product.
You get the feeling that he spent all day on it, like, and he unveils it very theatrically, and he's hoping everyone will just dig in.
It's almost as if he thought, other people seem to have a problem with poop in their potato salad. I don't. I'm going to invent this product, but let me check one more time and make sure nobody else wants this.
Right.
And then when the sharks say no, he goes, then I guess it is a good product.
Well, it's like, if you don't want this, maybe you'll want the thing that keeps the poop out of the potato salad.
The DuraTent.
The DuraTent. He goes on to explain some of the things that flies leave behind when they walk around, other than little particulate of disgust.
He just spent so long talking about flies. We know flies walk on food.
This is an extremely abbreviated version of his presentation.
I spent so long just going like, what is your product?
He explains it in words, and then he shows a video of it happening, and then he brings out like a little object lesson. It's a multi-stage process, but this is the end of it.
Parasites, larvae, salmonella, and even antibiotic-resistant E. coli are the same types of bacteria that hospitalize thousands of people across the U.S. each and every year, and unfortunately, some of these people die. Is this what you want for your family and friend sharks?
No.
Exactly not.
Exactly not.
Exactly not. That was my same thought process. Do I want my family to get sick and die? Exactly not.
Is that what you want? No. I like that how sarcastic Robert's being like, no, I don't want my family to die.
Now, Lori has some problems with the name of the product. She's okay with the pronunciation. She loves it. She thinks that's the perfect way to say that word.
Says if this is the name, let's say it like that.
It's got to be DuraTent.
But could it
certainly not?
Could it be
DuraTent.
a different name? Yeah.
But the name itself does confuse her a little bit.
Why is your name a DuraTent? Shouldn't it be like Fly Be Gone or No More Fly or...
DuraTent, DuraPlatter, Dura picnic items. I worked with a marketing company. The person said, your name does not need to describe the product as much as the tagline needs to describe it. DuraTent, now you can take the tent away and you can add on accessories.
So, I mean, he obviously did see a marketing expert because why call it DuraTent? DuraPlatter.
First of all, Lori, you idiot. DuraTent, DuraPlatter,
You don't
table,
see the connection there?
Dura, table, plate, platter.
Chair.
Okay. Dura hat.
Right. Dura boy.
Dura dog.
Dura glasses.
Okay.
It all, you don't see the, I thought this was your job.
Duraphone.
You don't get it?
You
How much
stupid,
more do we have
you
to
dummy?
explain to you?
Okay. Dura.
God.
And he's in a position to
Here
really
I
talk
am
down to
asking
her.
for your advice. And then
Meanwhile, you give me
this is what I
Fly
get
Be
from
Gone.
you.
Oh, and then what am I going to
more
do?
Fly
Be glasses? I can't do that when I want to make glasses later. It's like, geez, Louise.
Fly platter gone.
Fly
where
bee boy.
Where does the platter go?
Okay.
In no more fly, no more platter. Should be more platter.
Hello,
just
no
doesn't
more fly.
follow. And the other, like, when has he's absolutely right. The product name should have nothing to do with the product
with
itself.
the lone exception, the exception that proves the rule
Yeah.
of the Kindle Fire.
Yes.
What product, other than the Kindle Fire,
Yes.
can you think of whose name describes what it does and it's successful?
Yeah.
I don't know of any.
Like, what is, like, Gatorade? What is that, like Band-Aids for
Yeah, Band-Aids
like,
for alligators.
alligators? Or, like, what
I
is
don't think
what is
so.
that? It's a drink.
It's a drink.
Like, you actually look at it, it's a drink.
The Samsung Galaxy 3GS.
Yeah, like,
That's not.
what is that? Like, 3G, is that like 3 gators?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and then
that's
what
either
is it
that's
like?
either a phone or a computer.
Is it like Band-Aids for the stars or something? Like, because it's Galaxy?
Right.
It's like so crazy.
And like Coca-Cola, what is that, like koala bears? Like, that's another drink. Like, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
have
it's
anything
like,
to do with
it's
the
like
actual thing.
iced tea, you know?
Right. What is that?
What is that?
What is that? What does
What
the
does that
T
mean?
stand for?
What is the T?
It could be anything. Is it turtles? That actually is another drink. So these are, and like Burger King.
Okay.
Like, what is that? Like,
what does that describe?
who cares? I just want my food.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually a food, and
that's
yeah,
a
that's
food
a food
place.
place.
So he's right. Like, and sometimes if you,
Cranberry juice.
what
That's
is
actually
that?
another drink.
That is a drink.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like crayons for bears.
Yeah, it's Yeah,
So
is
that
it
is a
crayons for
drink.
bears, or is it is it your grandmother's bears?
Right.
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. Like like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's a drink.
No. Well, that makes me want to drink that.
Yeah. Well, let's try it. And then in the tagline, you find that out because the
Yes.
tagline for
He says-
cranberry juice is sip up,
Yeah. Sip up the drink.
sip up.
Yeah. Because he says the name doesn't matter as long as the tagline is really good. It describes the product perfectly, which is
Hot dogs. I mean, what
Right.
What's that?
Right. What is that?
It's a food.
Oh, it's like a food.
It's like a sausage.
Okay, well, that's what it sounds like to me. That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
It sounds like something to me that.
But also not that successful.
No, I think that's part of the problem.
If they had
so
branded
that's what
that,
you're saying.
is that they had
It
branded
sounds
it correctly.
too much like what it is.
Yeah,
Because
they
it
had
is hot.
branded it right.
Right, yeah.
you eat it hot.
So his tagline for the DuraTent in the presentation is the, in quotes, tabletop food screen. He puts that the right in quotes. So the tagline, he says, is the most important thing. And for me, that does just describe the product perfectly.
Yeah.
Because that "the" in quotes is just like a little bit of that, like that wicked sarcasm, just like some of that biting, like edge.
He's a
to
he's
just, like,
a
the.
yeah.
It shows
He's
that
like a funny, edgy
Right.
dude. It's a very edgy product with a sense of humor.
Right. And that's him turning it back on himself a little bit, showing just like, I can dish it out.
Yeah.
Let me show
can I
you that
take
your
it?
boy can take it just as good.
Yeah.
Right? The tabletop food screen. That's
That's
funny.
him taking it.
Yeah, that's
from
him saying like
from
it's
himself.
The tabletop food screen.
Oh yeah, it's fucking crazy funny.
And I also don't think the tabletop mention makes a lot of sense because it's for picnics, and I think picnics mostly take place on the ground. But Sean and I have actually had an extended argument about this off the show.
Agree to misagree there, brother.
That I'd rather not get into. Sean thinks having tabletop in the tagline is totally appropriate because he thinks it's mostly for backyard barbecues that are taking place on tables.
He's probably going to use
that
this
it's-
on a table.
I don't want to get into it. So let's just continue on.
Agree to misagree.
I'm
on that
going to
one.
just continue with the show, if you don't mind. Now, Daniel says he's sold 50,000 units of his product over 3 years. That's what he says at the very beginning. They ask him about his numbers. He sold 50,000 units. And then the Sharks ask for a year-by-year breakdown of his sales.
7,800 in year 1, 10,000 in year 2, 13,000 in year 3, and I'm on track to be around 13,000 this year.
The numbers didn't add up to me. You said that you sold 50,000 of these in the last 3 years. But then you said you sold
50,000.
13,000, and 7,800. Is that what you said?
Now Daniel's caught in a little pickle here.
He also, by the way, established himself as a genius engineer.
Yes.
He said that he was
works
like a
with
laser scientist.
Laser beams. Yeah, exactly. And so that's why, like, they're all smart. I don't know whose math is right in this case. It seems like one of those things where you could just, like, adding up those 4 numbers, you
It's a
could
matter
just
of
kind of, you
opinion,
could
yeah.
spin that sort of however you want to.
Yeah, it's like Nate Silver stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Where it's
there's always, like,
How do you interpret the numbers?
and like there's always bias, like
Mhm.
they're usually skewed one way or the other.
Well, I guess the truth is going to be in how he reacts, because he could just go, "Oh, you're trying to paint the numbers in a different light,"
Right.
or he could actually acknowledge, like, "Yeah, I was trying to pull the wool."
There are a lot of ways for him to play it
Uh-huh.
from this point, but this is an important decision moment.
And
in his-
ideally, you want to play it cool.
yes, exactly. So let's see how Daniel handles it.
Pardon?
It's still not adding up.
Yeah, because this year you would have to do 19,000 units because you came up to 41,000 units.
My apology. My
So he apologizes.
Okay. Well, then I guess he actually did make a mistake, maybe,
Yeah.
and
Maybe he
puffed
just,
up the numbers.
He
a little
rounded up a little bit.
bit. Yeah, inflated the numbers a little bit.
So first he said pardon, maybe hoping that he could just not hear them, and like maybe get away with it that way.
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't
Like-
feel like repeating the numbers again,
Yeah.
and they'd just go like, "Never mind."
He
we
gets
don't
like
know
an
what we're talking
old-fashioned
about.
ear trumpet, and
Yeah.
he kind of leans over and says,
Yeah.
"Excuse me,"
Holds one of those horns up and he goes, "Pardon."
Sonny boy. But they see through that. They keep forcing on him, and then he apologizes.
Then he just, like a man,
Right.
owns his mistake and he apologizes, and that's pretty much the end of it. And I
Yes.
think that we just move on from there.
Water under the bridge. On with the presentation.
An engineer that comes on national TV and can't do their math. Oh, that's not good.
so what? That was.
So it sounds like here he's trying to go back in for another apology.
Well, or maybe he's hipping it up and he's gonna do like because he goes my. We only heard him say my, so he's gonna go my
Right.
B,
Right.
like, and just sort of put it on them, like, my B, Holmes, why you harshing about it, like,
Right.
and I feel like that could be a cool take on sort of what's been going down.
Right. But I think either way, the important thing here is to stop apologizing, get on with the show.
Yeah, I hope he throws it away with like a My bad. But
With,
he
like,
sort of
handle
does
it
like
with-
maybe does like a jerk off
with
hand
grace.
motion.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a snap, like the Sharks, sort of, like a West Side Story.
Yeah, like a
thing.
snap, or he like
Right.
fans a wad of cash and just goes
Yeah.
like and fans himself off with it and goes
Right.
like, "Are we here
Shows
to
him
talk
some
about
fat
money,
stacks.
or are we here to
Yes.
talk about
Exactly. To
you know
play it off.
You know, this one mistake I made."
Right.
So I think that's probably what's next.
I think so too.
So what's the math, Dan?
My apology.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he blew his whole chance there, because all he can do from at this point on is apologize.
He just got trapped in a loop where
Yeah.
he could only apologize.
Right.
He said my apology.
Right.
And then they were like, "Okay, well, you know, you made a mistake." And then he went, my like it was like in war games where they show it that tic-tac-toe is unwinnable.
Yeah.
Like it could only end in a tie, and so he just starts to go like, "Oh, it's wrong. I can't. My apology. My apology." and so he's stuck in a bad place.
Sure. And they're trying to.
They're trying to move on.
I think they like the product. I think they wish they could
they
buy it
want to
from
like
him.
it. Yeah.
And they're hoping to get more information out of him, but that's pretty much where it ends for him.
I think they like the tabletop aspect of the product, and I can't blame them. That's what's smart about it.
I should have known that you would try and drag it back to the tabletop thing. Well, I think let's call that the show. I don't really want to. If you insist on dragging out the tabletop thing again, I think we can just end it there.
Okay, well, he got a no takes from all the sharks.
So that's a no takes for Daniel. That's tanks with no tanks.